What's going on, guys? I'm Bill and welcome to Bill's How To. So today I'm going to show you guys just how easy it is to replace a broken or cracked tile. As we've got here, I've got a couple tiles throughout this property that need to be replaced. So I thought I'd show you guys quickly just how easy it is to do yourselves. Let's get straight into it, guys. Let's do this. So the first thing we're going to do is take a multi-tool and we're going to use a grout removal tool. So this here is the grout removal tool. Okay, what we're going to do is just basically remove the grout around the tile that we're going to remove. The reason why we do that, number one, it's going to make it easier for us to remove this tile. Number two, it's going to help separate the surrounding tiles so that we don't damage the surrounding tiles. So it's pretty simple, straightforward. We just run it all the way around the grout lines. And it's that simple, guys. Once all the grout's been removed around the tile, we can now start removing this tile here. Now, if you've got some power tools handy, like I've got here my rotary hammer drill, I'm just going to use this with a chisel on the end, and I'm going to simply break it up. If you haven't got one, you can basically use a hammer and chisel, just do it all manually, or just break this tile here up, whatever way it needs to be done in order to remove this. So what I'm going to do is start off on the crack section. That's the easiest place to start removing the tile. Once we've got a little bit up, we can then pry it underneath and lift it up in hopefully one or two pieces. So once that's done, we've got our first initial piece removed, which is the crack section. Now I can take the chisel right underneath this tile, put a little bit of pressure, and then we might even be able to remove this tile in one piece. As you guys can see there, completely came up. And now we've got that one tile ready to be thrown away. Now we're just going to take a basic scraper and we're going to clean up the surface here, clean around the edges, remove any excess glue or grout. Pretty straightforward. Clean it all off so we've got a nice clean surface. Also scrape the base. Now we can take a vacuum and just vacuum all this mess here up. Now that we've got a clean surface, we can get the new tile ready to be installed. So these ones here are fairly large tiles. They're about 600 by 600. And with the larger tiles, they're not as forgiving as smaller tiles. So you just need to make sure that you've got the right amount of adhesive on. What I'm going to do in this case, because they are a larger tile and I'm only doing one area, I'm going to actually apply the adhesive to the floor itself. Makes it a little bit easier. Then I can drop the tile straight on top. So I'll get started on mixing my adhesive. And now we're just going to mix up the adhesive. So now the adhesive's ready to go, we can just pour a little bit on here. We take our trowel and then we can spread this all around. So now we can take our new tile, line it up on the other side and then just simply drop it. Make sure the level's all perfect. So what you want to do, if you look, find a high spot, tap it down a bit on this side, rub your hands along the edges. And now that's looking good. What we'll do is we'll just let this one here sit for a bit. Once it's set, then we can get started on grouting. So once the adhesive is set, it's now time to grout. Usually I wouldn't use white grout in a common area or an area with heavy traffic. However, in this case here, for whatever reason, they've used a white grout in the hallway, and as you guys can see, it doesn't look white anymore. And the reason for that is heavy traffic becomes discolored over time. You can see here in the little corner section, it's still pure white, and the reason for that is there's not much traffic in the corner here, and it's still got its original color. So I'm gonna go back with the original color of white. It's gonna stand out a bit initially, but over the next couple of weeks or couple of months, it will start to discolor and look as bad as the rest of the area. So anyway, we've got our white grout here ready to go. I'm gonna pour some water, mix this one here up. Whenever mixing grout, the smallest amount of water possible and work your way up. It mixes very, very quickly, and the last thing you want is to have water, very watery grout, because then you're forever adding more product in there. So we'll just mix this one here up. So now we've got our grout mixed up. Simply apply it around the areas where we're going to be working, and then I'm going to be using a rubber float to spread the material around. So this here is the rubber float that I'm talking about. Only costs a couple of dollars, does a really good job. Make sure that you don't go with the grain or with the cut or the direction of the cut. We're not going to go directly across it either. We're going to go on a sweeping motion, 45 degrees, just sweeping it across. That way we're going to push most of the material into that grout line, and it's going to have a nice perfect finish, and it's not going to come off in the near future. We can now start to remove all the excess material off. So now that we've got the bulk of it off, what I'm going to do is just let this sit here for about 5 to 10 minutes. Let it start to dry up and it'll develop a haze. Once that happens, I'll then take a regular sponge and just simply start wiping away all that excess material. Repeat the process about 2 to 3 times until we're happy with the finish. So now, using a wet sponge and a little bit of water, we can start removing all this excess material off. Once again, going on about a 45-degree angle so that we don't remove any of that material. Once again, let this sit for about another 5-10 minutes. Once again, we'll clean this section here off. You might find that you might have to repeat the process a couple of times until the haze has completely disappeared and you're left with a nice clean floor. So there you have it, guys. That's just how easy it is to replace a broken floor tile. Nice and simple, pretty straightforward, basic tools, nice and simple. Hopefully I've helped you guys out at home and you can now get out there and do it yourself. As always, like, comment and subscribe. Until next time, I'm Bill. Thanks for watching Billshowto.